What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. It's Jam or Jamila, whatever you prefer, but hashtag Jamie TV and hashtag Love Squad. If you're here and you're new, please hit that subscribe button, and if you're liking the content, please hit that like button, and don't be afraid to comment. So if you are interested in figuring out what I've been up to and also what challenge I've taken on, please stay tuned. So the question is, what have I been up to? Well, I have been doing my vlogs, so you can see like what my day-to-day life looks like right now, which is practically me just going to work and reading and writing and basically cooking. You can just check out my vlogs and see what I've been up to. I'll leave it up in the corner or links down in the description for you guys to see any of those videos. So I have left Wellesley and I have left Lemoyne. So technically I dropped out of college, so I'm not in college at all right now. I've taken another semester off, and I think this is what's good for me right now. Sorry. Hi. I'm pushing. I'm sorry. You're fine. I'm so sorry. You're fine. You're completely fine. We'll close the door. Yeah, so I've left Wellesley and Lemoyne, and I'm not in school right now. So that means that I'm just working and I'm just doing me. I decided to take this time to really just focus on me and really try to get a grounding in what I want to do after I left MHR, which a lot of people, if you don't know, that is a intensive outpatient care facility for people who are struggling with mental illness. And I took a semester off from Wellesley thinking I was going to go back, and I just basically was going to classes and trying to figure out how to process what I was going through, trying to figure out how to get back to a normal day-to-day productive life and how to deal with my depression and anxiety on my own, and do some self-maintenance as well as other steps to take to, you know, better myself and help myself, which includes going to therapy, which includes having support and building relationships, cutting off toxic people. Like, there are a lot of little steps that they were able to teach me to be able to handle my day-to-day life, and I learned them then, but I haven't been able to put them into play until like really just now, and everything's starting to click for me. So I just wanted to spend time living my life outside of school and just focusing all my energy on the things that I want to focus on. So my YouTube channel, it's definitely going to have more content. I set my goals for September because I really wanted to give you guys everything, and everything that I have, I promise you that I want to push myself harder for you guys and for myself, just to see how far I can go. So I have taken on the Full Potential Challenge, and that is where I am basically trying to push myself to do the best that I can every single day. And that means that I put up a list of routines for my morning, my afternoon, and my evening, and my weekends. And I personally needed this type of structure because I'm not in school. I don't have something that's dictating what I'm doing every day. When I go to work, I'm working part-time, so I'm only working a couple of days a week and a couple of hours. So the rest of my time is free. If it's not filled up, what am I doing? So I had to create goals for myself, and I will share those on the screen. So mine is a little personal, and I I personalize mine just so I can feel like it is mine. I'll probably follow it better, you know what I mean? So I have my own structure. Now, here I'll leave links to the original template because I think it's really important for people to create their own personalized structure as I did. So I leave the link below. I found this challenge on Tumblr and I really was like, yes, I needed this. I needed to break down my day into building blocks. Like, how can I be the most productive? How can I be the most efficient? How can I be happy? How can I not be distracted by social media? How can I not be distracted by my negative thoughts? How can I just not sit and like get out of my like lacking motivation moments? Like, I needed something to push me, and having things to do every single day that goes toward my well-being and my self-care, I really just like clung to. I was like, I gotta make this my own. And I wanted to also create the ways that I wanted to hold myself accountable for my learning outside of school. So I have books that I'm reading this month, and I might be a little too ambitious, I'm not gonna lie. There's 4 but I think I can do it. And if I can't, you know, chalk it up to the game, go on over to the next month and we'll have another set of books, and I'll know how much I can handle. But I'm gonna be ambitious. I'm gonna go for 4. So I love poetry, everybody knows that. So I've dedicated myself to reading a couple poetry books or poems a day. And the first poem book that I'm going to be reading is The Sun and Her Flowers by Rupi Kaur. And I got this book, I believe, for Christmas from my family because they know that I love poetry and they know that I love books. So they went on my Amazon reading list and they really hooked a bitch up, okay? So I'm happy. Like, now that I'm ready to really get into it, I have these books available for me. Because all of my other books are at Wellesley, which is another thing. I really want to be able to go get my stuff from Wellesley because that's my life up there, y'all. Okay. So the next book that I'm reading is kind of like a inspirational women's self-help whatever book that my mom recommended and got for me. It's called Hope in the Dark, Untold Stories and Wild Possibilities by Rebecca Solnit. And I have started reading this a bit and doing, you know, my annotations, y'all. You know how we do, readers and, you know, academics. We go through, we highlight, we annotate, we learning all the time. But I realized that, you know, reading these kind of books, I have to weed out what the messages are for me as a Black woman for inspiration, and also taking the time to learn about how people think, you know, by reading other books. So I really appreciate this. The next one is me diving into an interest of mine, which is learning more about African Americans and their relationship with finances and financial like literacy. So I went to the library and I picked up In the Black, A History of African Americans on Wall Street, and it really is doing a good job of telling the history of Black people's relationship to financial literacy and finances in America, because it's literally breaking down how they had to break into this industry, as well as any history and illiteracies that we have as Black and African Americans, however you want to identify. And I really do like, I have started this book as well, so I'm really excited to get into this. So, and the last book that I'm going to be reading is a book that I found at Dirt Cheap, and I'm so happy that I ran across it because it's really going to talk about America's just like obsession with fear. It's called The Muslims Are Coming. Islamophobia, extremism, and the domestic war on terror. So, in my personal opinion, America definitely profits off of the fear of Americans, and I think I'm gonna learn so much about that in this book. I believe I'm gonna start doing like book reviews or just like book summaries on this channel, because I really do love reading and I want to be able to share and make information accessible to everybody. And I know people say they don't have time to read, or they really don't have time to read. I really do recommend audiobooks, or just finding people like me who love to talk on the internet about books and our opinions. So I definitely suggest like picking up a couple books if you are interested in reading, and if you don't have the time, definitely download Audible. I'll leave a link in the in my description to Audible. I have a subscription as well, so you can learn more about how that works. I'm not getting sponsored for this, so I'm not about to go into that. I'm gonna give you guys some tips about how you guys can personalize the Full Potential Challenge for yourself. I personally chose this month to just focus on the building blocks of what will make me have a productive, efficient, and happy day, and that's what this is. So I want people to personalize their Full Potential Challenge. I want them to be able to, just do it for themselves. Next is, you need to hang it up. You need to hang it up, babes. Like, you really need to hang it up. Because if you don't see it, then you won't do it. Like, it's literally the principle of out of sight, out of mind. If you don't see it, then how do you remember to do it? Because it's not something that's ingrained in you already. So you have to literally put in work to be able to get these things to be second nature to you. Sooner rather than later, these different things you'll wake up and you'll be able to do them without having to look at that paper. Maybe you'll need a couple reminders, but this is the building blocks to having a better and happier life. My last and final advice for doing this challenge is to be consistent. Be consistent and stick with it, because that's when you will definitely see results, and you'll see whether this works for you or whether this doesn't work for you, or you need to go about it in a different way. But it's all about figuring out what works. It's a very much experimental stage, and I'm trying this out for myself, and I feel like it's been working for me because I put it into play already. And September has just been the month that I decided I'm going to go hard. I'm going to make myself be accountable for the things that I'm doing. So if I want to have these goals, I have to have things that I'm doing every day to make sure that I am reaching those goals. And that starts with doing one thing at a time and building the life that you want. So thank you guys for tuning into this video. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe and join the love squad, bro. Like, it's love. It's all love, and I really want everybody to just know that, because at the end of the day, all you got is who? Yourself. And I'm gonna help you figure that out, okay? So have a wonderful day. Bye.